They're yelling at me saying, throw it, like throw the gas canister. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to blow up this house if I throw the gas canister. It'll all blow up.
All right. Well, after that intro, welcome to the episode, everybody. Oh man, it's a fun one. It was a good one. I really loved catching up with Kiwi and having a chance to talk about some exciting stories that you will get to. Yeah, man, and that was just one of many. Now there's quite a few in this episode, so I hope you enjoy it. Big shout out to Steadfast as always. Want to remind everybody again about the giveaway that we're running. Once I hit 100 followers on Instagram, I'll be giving away a 6-pack of Steadfast drinks as well as a sticker pack. And if you're in the Utah area, you can also get some time at Back 9, which is one of, not a sponsor, but somewhere that I work right now. And they've been awesome. So be sure to check out that post on Instagram. I believe the post is on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X, TikTok. Should be all over the place. But the official giveaway is via Instagram. So go check that out. Really hope you enjoy this episode. It was really, really fun. It was awesome catching up with Kiwi. And I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Kiwi, how are you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Life is life. Life is good most of the time, but yeah, I'm good. So, first of all, thank you for being on here. I know we're recording a little bit later than usual, but hopefully we can still have a good conversation. And we're both parents, so I'm used to being awake at 2:00 every now and then. So we'll see how this goes.
No, I appreciate you having me, man. I've got my Coke Zero, dude. Your unofficial sponsor.
Perfect. Dude. There you go. Yeah, I'm out of so Steadfast is my the first partner that I've got for sponsor.
I need to black this out. Then you gotta blur out the.
Well, no, I was gonna say, so I'm out right now. I'm waiting on another order, so I'm drinking a contraband because I gotta stay up late. So yeah, but
yeah,
no, Steadfast has been awesome. They're do you do energy drinks or just soda?
Oh yeah, no, I've got a Ghost upstairs. If I need to pull the trigger, I could drink
Dude,
Ghost right now.
You should look into Steadfast for real, and obviously they're my sponsor, so I have to pitch them. But they're 180 ml and lots of really clean ingredients. So the label's this big, super awesome. Small label, which I love. Prebiotics, and they're local to Utah. So you guys are in Cedar City, right?
Yep.
So two of the owners, I think, actually are from Cedar City.
It's a great place.
Yeah, that's what we thought about it.
Red Rock, dude, desert.
Yep. We were, gosh, I'd say probably a week away from choosing Cedar City, kind of that area. And then this place in Orem opened up. Anyways, you should try Steadfast. I'll be getting a promo code, and I'll send it to you as soon as they get it to me. I don't know if it'll be free shipping or whatnot, but
tastes good though.
You'll get dude.
What's your favorite flavor?
Good. So there's only two right now. There's one called Alpine Chill, which I've never had a White Monster, but everyone says it tastes like White Monster. That one's super good. And then the other one
You've never had a White Monster?
I've never had a Monster. Yeah.
It's time, brother.
I don't know, man. It's like a pride point for me now. It's like a pride point. So I did Rain for a long time. I did C4. I did
You've done the hard stuff.
Huh?
White Monsters, that's the hard stuff.
Yeah, I know.
White Monster, that's pretty chill.
Yeah. No, when I jumped into the deep end.
Yeah.
But no, then I found Steadfast, and they're fantastic. So there's the Alpine Chill, which is like White Monster, which it's fantastic. And then a peach flavor. And they're both really good. They're both really, really good. So, but yeah, they're new. They're kind of new. Oh, and then I did I'll talk about it for a minute because I do like the brand. I did this one for a long time. This is what I'm drinking tonight. It's called Lucky. So Lucky, yeah. So Lucky, if I didn't have Steadfast, I would be doing Lucky. Smallest label I've seen other than Steadfast, but it also has more. I think Luckies are 200. Yeah, so Luckies are 200, which like at 10 o'clock at night, I'm going to be buzzed until 3 a.m. So
when the kids wake up.
When the kids wake up, yeah. Anyways, it's good. It's good. But yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, gosh. So little background. I don't know how much background do you know about the podcast? It's still pretty new. You're only episode 17.
I feel like I've just seen some snippets here and there,
Okay.
of different SVU alums.
Sure.
And then Peyton.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know a ton. I don't know much about the format. Obviously, I've just seen these clips that have gone around.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll try to
give me the rundown.
Yeah, I'll give you the rundown. So the last episode I did was Austin and Larry Wood. And that was episode 16. That went live today. So every Wednesday these go live. So yours will be a week from today.
Awesome.
I'll try to, with them, it took me 6 minutes to summarize everything. So I'll try to do that quicker. So
get your elevator pitch down.
I know, man, it's tough. It's tough because there's so much that went into it. So years ago, I had like a little podcast, no video, like just audio that I was doing when we were in Arizona. And that was just like,
I think I remember that.
Yeah, those were like 20 minutes, little like short things. And it was mostly just stuff like about our family, or like if someone had said something in church that I liked, and I would talk about that for like 15, 20 minutes. Like kind of the like nonsense podcast kind of stuff. So that stopped when we moved to Illinois for me to go coach out there, and just couldn't get it back up, and just too much going on. Didn't have my equipment for a long time. Just everything. Lots of excuses, but just didn't get it back on. So then it had always kind of been on my mind, like, I want to start the podcast again. I want to get it going again. And it's funny, in January for us, we had started thinking, we were in Cali, and we were like, maybe we're not supposed to be in Cali anymore. And that was tough because when we got there last summer, it felt like this is where we're supposed to be. This is where we're going to be for a long time. And then just a lot of stuff happened that we were like, don't like maybe that. Don't like how that's going. Yeah. And so we were like, you know what? Maybe we need to move. So initially we were thinking about moving, and we were like, the only factor in our move is how close we can be to a temple. That's going to be it. So we were looking at like Arizona, where we've been before. We were kind of looking here, but we'd never wanted to live in Utah. And in February, I had a showcase in Vegas because I was still working for Saracoso. I was still coaching. I was still trying to recruit. And I had a showcase in Vegas, and it was weird. It was like a Friday. I want to say it was like Friday through Tuesday. Like, it was weird days. And so I went in Thursday. So I got in Thursday night, and I was like, you know what? I'm early. I'm going to go to the temple. So I went to the temple, and, me and Mo are thinking about all this stuff. We got all these questions. I go to the temple, the place you're supposed to go when you have questions and you want answers and all this. And I get out of the temple, and nothing. Just nothing. Just like the only thing that I thought and that I like had this impression of was like, you should finish your book. And I was like, that doesn't help anything else right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't help anything else. So I was frustrated and irritated, and did the showcase, watched some kids. At that point, I wasn't really invested in it as much. See, I'm already taking a long time because I can talk to you more. So do the showcase. It has been a long time. It's been a long time. I do the showcase. A lot of
history here. We haven't talked in a long time.
There's so much. We're gonna have to dive into that too. So I do the showcase. Tuesday morning, I'm getting up to go home. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just go back by the temple on my way out. It's not really on the way, but it's close enough that like mileage isn't going to be a problem. So I drive by the temple and it had just closed. So Thursday I went and did a session, and then it closed that weekend for renovation for like 6 months. So, and I didn't know that. So I like get to the temple in the morning and it's totally closed, and I was kind of bummed. But so I just kind of sat in the parking lot for a few minutes. And it was nice. Took some pictures with Ho-Oh up there. He's a good buddy. And
Awesome.
yeah, he's been great. Ho-Oh's my favorite Pokemon, but since he's legendary, I here, we'll do this.
You
So
can't talk
Ho-Oh's my
about him
favorite.
much.
And then we got the
Wow.
Dragonite in the hat. Yes, sir. Anyways, I don't know if you're a Pokemon guy. Anyways,
Listen,
this is
I've
my
gone
problem,
down the
dude.
rabbit hole.
Yeah. This is my problem. I ramble too much. So Tuesday, I go back to the temple, just kind of sit out there for a little bit. Still not getting anything. So I start driving back home. Vegas to Ridgecrest is like 4 hours, so it's not a bad drive. And typically, and I'm not coaching now, so it won't be like this for a while, but when I've been like on recruiting trips and all of that, I don't call Mo when I'm in the car. I'll shoot her a text like when I stop for gas or something like that, but I don't ever call her. So I'm driving back. I'm like an hour outside Vegas, and I call her. And so she answers, and the first thing she says is, "What's wrong?" And so I don't think anything of it. I make things 100 times worse because she says, "What's wrong?" And I say, "I'm not going back." And so she starts like, "What are you talking about? You're not coming back. Like, what is?" And so I'm like, "Oh, no. I'm so sorry." Like, we're done with Saracoso. We're not going back to Saracoso. Like, we're going to leave California. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" So then we start talking about all that. And I tell her, I want to start a podcast again. And I want it to be geared towards LDS athletes and young athletes, because they don't get any exposure. They don't get the exposure they should. Like, I grew up in BV, 6,000 people. I was, at the time, a crazy good athlete. Could have gone D1 or D2 in several sports. I didn't get any exposure. And so I wanted to help. I wanted to kind of be a help in that. So that was the original idea with the podcast. Then within like 3 episodes, it just organically shifted out of that and into discussions on how you balance faith and athletics. And so,
cool.
yeah. And it's something that, like, I didn't push that, but I also didn't fight it. It just happened. And so now I'm trying to kind of push that towards youth. And it's been wild being in Utah County. And when I spoke with Peyton on his episode, one of the questions I asked him was like, how was it growing up as an LDS athlete who was very good? I'm like, what was that like as far as trying to balance that? And he was like, oh, it was done for me, basically, at that time.
Right.
Yeah, at that time, like, there wasn't a balance because Utah didn't ever do anything on Sunday. There was nothing. And now it's like we've had kids stand up in Sacrament that are like, so my game this morning went really well. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, so kids are playing in tournaments on Sundays all the time now. And it feels like in Utah, which makes sense when you think about it, they would be attacked more, so to say. But like, you're getting to the point where you have to choose one or the other, is what it kind of feels like. What I'm seeing kids are being faced with. So now, jeez, it's been 8 minutes. This is longer than Austin and Larry. This is getting worse. Kiwi.
We're covering ground though.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's late. So you get a pass.
It is late. This was about when we were ending their episode. So yeah, it is late.
Yeah, so no stress.
Yeah,
you're good.
It's
We're
good.
still warming up too.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, so the basis now is like trying to bring on people who have kind of been through this process. And, Peyton is about my age, you're about my age, but I also had on a kid named Wyatt who's like 24, and he's not LDS, but a very faith-based individual. And that was an awesome discussion. Bennett Canlin is younger as well. Sean Breen is a little younger than us. So I'm trying to bring in like a mix of people who can talk about this kind of stuff and help kids out is really the ultimate goal. Our ward is nuts. And I've talked about this on a couple episodes, but like, I guess our ward is like the BYU ward. So like Chad Lewis is our stake president, and he's in our ward. Assistant AD. Danny Ainge is in our ward. Taysom Hill is in our ward. Like, so Taysom Hill's son.
You picked a good spot.
Well, yeah. So we moved into this ward, and I told this story to Jake McMahon. I had an episode with him, and I told this story. We walked into Sunday school, or I walked into Sunday school because Mo was with one of the kids. And I sit down, and I'm in there, and 5-10 minutes go by, and this guy starts answering a question. So I'm looking at him, and he looks really familiar, and he finishes his answer, and my brain goes, "That's Danny Ainge, and he just answered a question in my Sunday school class." And I was like, "Oh my gosh,
that's funny."
And then that Sunday, I'm picking up my kids from nursery, and I'm like standing in the door because there's like 3 kids in there. So I'm like, I'll just grab my kids real quick and we'll go. And I hear this, "Excuse me," and so I like kind of turn around, and like Taysom Hill walks in to pick up his kid, and I'm like, "What the frick is going on? Like, where are we?"
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's been fun. I'd love to get them on someday, but that won't happen. That won't happen soon. Those might be the ones that'll be like 150 views to a few thousand views. So
yeah, well, closed mouths don't get fed, dude. So you gotta shoot your shot.
I did, dude. Like 3 weeks into us being here, so every Tuesday I go to the temple now, which has also been incredible. But I'm driving to the temple, and an exact thought process. I'm like, if I don't do something, I'm going to kick myself. So I got to shoot my shot. I voice messaged Danny Ainge because I had his number because LDS Tools, and I voice messaged him, and then I realized like he's in Vegas right now. He's at Summer League. He's golfing. He's not going to see this, and I still don't think he's seen it. But yeah, we'll see.
Did you call him Danny or did you call him brother?
Oh, I think in the message, I think I said Brother Ainge. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And then he introduced himself to me and Mo like the next Sunday, like in between meetings. He was like, "Hey, nice to meet you guys. I'm Danny." And in my brain, I was like, we know that.
That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's been fun, man. So that's the podcast. Jeez. Let's see. 12 minutes. 12 minutes.
It's okay.
No, it's all good.
You can try again next time.
But yeah, next time it'll be 14 minutes.
It'll be the whole podcast next time.
It'll be the whole podcast. Just me talking about myself. That's what it'll be. Oh my gosh. So
no, it's awesome. I love the concept.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm hoping that eventually some kids start to see some of this stuff because, dude, I've been moved to tears with like some of these stories that people have shared and just experiences and how much, honestly, how little I know about like all these people that like I've considered really close friends and like just the backgrounds that I get have been awesome.
You're getting the lore.
Yeah.
The deep tracks.
Yep. And I've been really, and no pressure, I've been really appreciative with like how much people have been willing to share and talk about, which has been really cool too. So if you don't want to talk about something though, if I ask a question and you don't, we edit it out. No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Sounds good.
I spend
those are
minimum
fair rules to me.
Yeah. I spend minimum three times as long editing as however long the episode is, like minimum. So okay. Austin and Larry, I think was 2.5 hours. And that was a lot. That was a lot.
Brutal one.
So, yeah. But it was also double answers for almost everything. So, so we'll see.
That's true.
Yeah. So, with all of that being said, I would love to, and I realized just earlier today, like I really don't know a lot of the background of Kiwi. Now, I was your RA and never really got a lot of the background. So I would love to. How did I word that first question? That's so simple. What was life like as a member growing up as an athlete as well? Simple question, but dive into it.
I thought about it as we were talking and you were explaining the concept. So I grew up a Navy brat, moved around a lot,
right.
and played competitive sports growing up. Was really into baseball and soccer mostly.
Okay.
And I would say the first time I really thought about like my faith when it came to like athletics was probably around middle school. We'd moved from Hawaii when I was 12 back to Maryland. And I was playing soccer for some club teams and stuff. And just kind of, I think my family just quickly realized that, like, he's at the age where like we're playing on Sunday, right? Like it's just, that's like what's happening,
Yep.
And I'm not really sure, to be honest, if my parents ever like threw out to me like, hey, you can just not go to these games on Sunday. Like my dad being in the Navy and being someone who's really logical and rational, his philosophy was like, if you start something, you finish it. Right. So like if I committed to like playing on the soccer team, even if it was playing on Sunday, like I was going to play those games. Right.
Sure.
Like, and so kind of our lifestyle around it with church was like, I would try to go to like sacrament and then we would peace out. Like we're getting sacrament and like we're leaving for the game,
Yep.
or we're finding a different ward, or we're finding like different ways to go to church. But like I don't think to be honest, I don't think my coaches, I don't think my teammates like understood or knew like the sacrifices that I guess I was making. And I mean, I didn't look at it as like a sacrifice then, I just looked at it as like, I'm going to church and I'm going to go play in the soccer game,
Yep.
But yeah, like I guess now I'm looking back on it, yeah, it was like a sacrifice of like my time or of my parents' time and efforts to like have me do both things and be committed to both things at the same time. And that was kind of like a typical thing though for me, like from I guess probably the age of, I don't know, 12 to 18 was like competing on Sundays. Like
Okay.
and I didn't really think much of it, to be honest. I had a unique ward. I was actually in the ward like growing up. I was in the same ward as like the Niamatololos. So like Kenny and Barbara Niamatololo, like and their kids. And like Sister Niamatololo was like
your seminary teacher, right?
Seminary teacher.
Yeah.
And like I grew up with her sons. Va and Ali, and Va was like this big like football star at our school, and and so like I guess what I'm saying is like having athletes who were LDS, that was like normal in my ward. Like we had like a guy that played basketball at the school at my high school. There's a girl who was like in my neighborhood and in my ward who like played field hockey and lacrosse. Right? It's like I had these other people who were also playing sports and like balancing being an athlete and also going to church, right?
Sure.
So like
from the church side, it wasn't that weird. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just thought it was normal. And like, I'll also say like it's not like these were like Joe Schmo athletes. Like these were actually, all of us were competing at like a fairly high level, right? And so for me, Va ended up going and playing football D1 at BYU, and his younger brother ended up playing at University of Utah, and so like all these different people that like I knew around me were kind of like living this kind of similar life, and I don't know how they balanced it, to be honest. It's not like I was like paying a ton of attention to what they were doing, but I just like looked around me in my ward, and it's like, oh, there's a bunch of like athletes that are also in high school with me, and we're all LDS, we're all kind of dealing with the same problems. And so, yeah, that was kind of my high school and like middle school experience, was like just kind of balancing church and playing. And I never had like I hear stories and stuff of people who like really sacrificed, right? Or they like really
Yeah.
stood up for their values and like, no, I'm going to go to church. Like I'm going to be there and back then it was 3 hours.
Yeah.
For any kids out there, like you're lucky,
Yeah.
you, um,
Oh.
we're all lucky. Um, but yeah, like, it used to be like, okay, we're locking in for like the 3 hours. And for some people, they really were like so committed to that they were giving up something.
Right.
I guess like blessed in a way that my parents were like willing for me to, you know, find the balance in that. Um, and kind of have like the ox and the mire kind of that situation going on.
Ooh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Good shout there.
and so yeah, like it's maybe, it's not I wouldn't say that they're like necessarily equals or that the story really even applies to that, but I'd say that's the closest I can get.
No, it's good. It's good. That's what we're supposed to do with the scriptures, right? That's
For
good.
sure.
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. That was, for me, it was kind of like I didn't really have, not that I didn't have the choice, but like, so BV, like the closest, when I was growing up, the closest club was Roanoke. So I never played club. I played Raro, and I played with the high school team. But like I never played club because it was crazy expensive and it was an hour plus away. So yeah, so for me, the only times I had to choose, I mean, I could probably count on one hand the number of times that I had to choose like church or sports, and it was always church. So because it was Raro, like it wasn't
Right.
like
Right.
it was
Yeah.
like, oh, a
No,
rec championship. Oh, okay, like
yeah. No, I think that's what was tough for me is that like I knew my parents were spending money, and I can look back
yeah,
now and be like, they're spending a lot of money for me to be playing competitive soccer and like be on these club teams. Um, and so, for me, I knew that they were like also invested in it for me. And
hmm
so, that was another piece too, where it's like, did I really sign up for this just to like miss even being a part of it?
yeah, yeah,
And maybe that's the wrong way of looking at it, but we did the best we could to like find the balance in all things.
right, right.
Um, so yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, again, there are people out there who are like so committed to our faith that like they're willing to sacrifice those things, and I really commend those people. But
Yeah,
um,
right.
I guess for good or bad, I'm not that person.
No, I think looking back, like you said, I think if I had been playing club or something, I don't think I would have been that person either. Because sports was such a big part of my life and the financial aspect of it all too. Like, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened. Man. So, okay. Playing soccer. You didn't go to SVU to play soccer though, right? So what kind of was the SVU process like then? Because if you're playing sports like
Yeah.
middle school, high school, and then I remember a little bit about like I don't even want to say it. You tell the story, it's your story. But like what was that process like of choosing SVU rather than like maybe going to play sports somewhere else?
Yeah, so my high school athletic career was kind of a funny one. So my high school was a really big high school, and actually there were two middle schools that fed into our high school. And on my club soccer teams, like very often there'd be like half the kids from Severn River was what it's called, and the other half were from another school called Magathie River. The
Okay.
two rivers like where we live, and
Yep.
that's kind of what the split was. And literally the middle schools are right next to each other. That's the funniest part. But like, like we wouldn't see each other, we wouldn't interact other than like
Right.
soccer. And
Right.
so, um, we all had these different club teams and stuff in the area that we played on. And, I remember like, it's gonna sound weird, but like, you kind of have these feelings before you go to high school where you're like, okay, like, where's everyone rank up? Like, how are things gonna go when you like go and
But
try
yeah,
out for these teams, right?
100%. That's
And,
not weird at all.
and, the feeling that I had and the kind of the feeling that I got from like, coaches, parents, other like, teammates was like, okay, like, I have like a decent shot of like making varsity like my freshman year, right? Like, which is a pretty big deal. Like, honestly, the sports
Yeah.
there are pretty political. And there's like very good, talented people. There were people like in the same class as me who were like in the ODP teams.
Jeez.
And like, it was just a very competitive area. And so like, I kind of have like this, maybe not ego built up, but like I kind of have this idea of like, okay, like I'm good enough. I like work hard enough. I'm athletic enough that like, there's a chance I could be on varsity. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I go into my freshman year tryouts and, I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if I was like goofing off. I don't know if I wasn't taking things seriously enough. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I can't really remember, but I just know I got cut from like even my JV team. Like, it wasn't even like I didn't make varsity. It's like I didn't make my JV team. And it was like a devastating blow because, basically like all my friends, all my club team, a lot of them made it. Right. It's like, and I'm like supposed to be like one of the better kids on these club teams. And like, I don't make it, and yeah, there's a whole story there there's kind of like a redemption arc. I don't know if you want to get into that, but
redemption arcs are the best.
This is not something, and well, we'll see. So I get cut from this team. So the way this happens is like, there's tryouts, and for the record, like the way that everything worked where I went to school, we're all on these club teams. And the high school coaches know, like the high school coach knows exactly who's playing for what club teams, right? And the like, he has a summer camp they host from the high school that has like high school players. They're at it. It's all, it's like he's watching who he wants to get, right? And so for years, like I've been going to this high school camp. I know the head coach who's the varsity coach, right? And we're at this hill, like every day after tryouts, you'd sit on this hill, the whole, like everyone that was trying out, and they'd pull you by like this dugout by the baseball field. And they'd basically tell you like, if you were on this list, if you made it on the team. And it's the last day of tryouts. And so in front of like my friends, this, like I get like cut, right?
Right.
And I walk away. This is so crazy, Joe. I walk away and I turn around and I flip him double birds and say F you, his last name. I'm not kidding, man. I'm not.
As an incoming freshman in high school.
As an incoming freshman, dude. And like, you gotta like understand though, like my friends are there. This is probably like the most like devastating time of my entire life, right? Like, it's like this thing that I thought was going to be like a guarantee is like completely taken from me, or I wasn't good enough, right? Either way, it's like I failed.
Your mind goes all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like my 14-year-old brain is just like, screw you, man. Literally, and so I like walk over, I'm in tears, dude. I'm sobbing, dude. I walk over, wait for my mom to come pick me up, and it's a whole thing. And, I'm going through all the feelings of, teenage depression and, just kind of like going through it. Right. And my mom ends up basically telling me like before school starts, like, hey, like you have to play a sport. Like, and I'm like, what? Like, and she's like, yeah, like, maybe you need to like run cross country or something. You've always been like you've always been the fastest kid on your teams, know? And so I end up like running cross country my freshman year. And here's the funniest part about this whole redemption arc story. So I have like gym class, everybody has like, gym class in high school. The varsity soccer coach is my gym teacher.
Oh my gosh.
And so
were you guys block at least, or was it like every day you're seeing this guy?
It was block, so like every other day, but like our AB schedule or whatever. But
still, golly. That's terrible.
And obviously things are tense, things are tough. and all the while, for the record, like I was still playing club soccer. Like even with me playing, or running cross country, like I still kind of like the normal thing was you played high school. You played your high school sport and you played club still. Like that was just like a normal thing for you to be progressing. And so
I was still like playing simultaneous club in Maryland, or were they at different times?
I think they were at different times. I think fall was kind of off, or at least there was like, it was more like indoor soccer stuff. It was like kind of like out of season stuff once you got to high school age, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe it was like futsal and stuff, in the winter. But basically like I was like, this is the craziest part is like I'm on teams with like these kids who are on varsity and who are on JV. Yeah. Like I'm on their team in club, but I'm just not on the team, and that's like devastating for like a freshman in high school. Right.
Yeah.
And, But anyways, I run cross country. I end up actually like getting a varsity letter like that year in cross country as a freshman. And then I run indoor track and outdoor track that year. Go to states and like the Penn Relays, which is like a big deal in the track
Sheesh. Yeah.
world
Yeah.
as like a freshman. And kind of like find like my little like groove, find my like athletic, kind of I guess my niche in some
Yeah.
ways, like my
Yeah.
freshman year in running. But all
Love
the
that.
while I'm still playing soccer, right? Like I'm still doing that. I'm still competing. And at the time too, I'm also playing baseball. So like it's
Okay.
all kind of crazy. Like I'm like playing a lot of things. Um, Here's where the redemption arc comes though. So that summer, like it's pretty normal. They have like this like county-wide like state or summer soccer like league basically, and it would
Okay.
get all the kids who were in high
Sure.
school and they'd all get like pitched to different teams, but your head varsity coach could actually coach that summer league, which was cool.
Mm.
And so what was cool is like I think his name's Coach Tedimer. I don't know if he still coaches there, but like he was the head, he was the varsity coach. And like he was coaching that team, and he obviously had seen that I'd put in a lot of work. I'd gotten like faster, I'd still been playing soccer, like my skills were getting better. And so, having that experience to be able to like go to that summer league soccer was really
Hmm.
great for me. And I ended up trying out again my sophomore year, and I like make the JV team. And so like
Nice.
play JV, like that was kind of like a huge redemption arc for me, where it's like, dude,
Yeah.
I like cussed out the varsity coach, and he still like put me
Ooh,
on the
put you
JV
back on.
team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't just that I didn't make it. It was that like I didn't make it, and I
How
like
you didn't
burned a
make it.
bridge, you know. And so that's kind of like my redemption arc with soccer. And what was really sad is that like I actually ended up getting like pretty close with this varsity coach and with our JV coach, and the JV coach was actually like an alumni of like our high school, which was really
Mm.
cool.
I love
His
when they
family
do
was
that.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were kind of like a big deal in our like in like our town.
Okay.
And so it was cool that he was coaching there. And um anyways, I go into like the summer league that I'm talking about, and like find out from my dad that we're moving to Florida. And so what sucked is like I'm like basically primed, I'm primed to be going, because once you're a junior you have to make varsity,
Right.
otherwise you're
Right.
not.
Right. Right.
And it's like I'm like, I think I'm the guy to like go varsity on my
Yeah.
soccer team, man.
Yep.
And then my dad kind of pulls the rug and says we're moving to Jacksonville, Florida, right? And so I still remember like going to a practice one day and like telling our varsity coach like, hey, like I'm actually like moving to Florida, like, and it was a really tough conversation for me. And obviously like I'd worked really hard to kind of like redeem myself that way,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, and so then I moved down to Florida, and dude, this is also kind of like a sad part of my story is uh in Florida, I ended up like also trying out for another club team.
Mm.
Ended up being on a team with a bunch of the varsity, like basically the entire varsity team is on my club team.
Yeah.
And I tried out for the Florida soccer team at my high school. And the way that the coach set up the tryout was like he took the current team and he put them on like one team, and then he basically had anyone who wasn't on the team play on the other team and like
Oh,
scrimmage. And as you
jeez.
can imagine, like it's hard to stand out when like you're like on an island, right?
Right.
And so I ended up like not making the high school team, but I'm like literally on the club team with these varsity players.
Yep.
Like it's just like so
Yeah.
crazy. And dude, they ended up winning the state championship. So
Oh.
like, yeah, so it was crazy. But
Oh
don't be too
man.
sad. I ended up like running cross country and indoor track, or actually didn't have an indoor track. It was just cross country and track. And I like was like the MVP or like the most outstanding runner for both sports. And like kind of found my like niche running cross country and doing track and
Yeah.
field,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
um and did that my junior and senior year. And I played soccer like my junior and senior year still on these club teams. Um and yeah, that's kind of like my athletic background. I stopped playing baseball my sophomore year, I think, of high
Okay.
school, and just
Okay.
focused on like soccer and running. And then Florida, yeah, just club soccer and then running. And yeah, it was like a really good experience. And um obviously some ups and downs, and maybe a little different
Yeah,
than other
sounds like
people's.
it.
And um
Golly.
And you asked like how I got to SVU and why I didn't play soccer there.
Yeah.
So
what the heck, man?
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, looking back, I probably should have. To be honest, I probably like
we
and it probably would have helped. It probably would have helped me meet my wife sooner.
Yeah.
Or get married sooner to my wife. But and I actually got recruited to play soccer too by Sam Bunnell. Do you remember Sam?
Oh my gosh.
He was like trying to get me to play so bad my freshman year. He's like, dude, you played soccer all like, you know, through high school and like you're not gonna play, you know, like he'd kind of like throw these things at me. And ultimately, dude, I just ran cross country. But the story there is that Logan Davis actually reached out to me when I got to like college, you know, thinking about college. I didn't spend actually enough time, to be honest. I should spend a lot more time thinking about college, and I think I probably could have competed other places or done other things if I had really like thought about it more and put more time into it. But you know, I think I had like a couple D1, like small D1 schools like reach out for me to like try to try out on their team or walk on. Yeah, as like a runner.
Wow.
On the soccer side, like the reality is soccer, dude. I mean, I didn't know any of this. My parents didn't know any of it, but like it's so much about like having game film, like recording what you've actually been doing, right? So like I have none of that. Like I don't have any of those things.
Okay.
And so I also remember like one of my like high school coaches, this is funny. One of my cross country coaches like in Maryland, like basically tried to tell me like I would never play like a college sport. Like I was like, so yeah, really weird. I don't know why you'd like say that to someone. I don't know if he was trying to motivate me, but anyways, so basically like I had these kind of schools I was thinking about. The main school I was actually like really considering was the Naval Academy, actually.
Sure.
And I'd gone to like this thing called summer seminar, which is basically you go like the year before you graduate and you kind of like go for a week and you're kind of feeling what it'd be like to be a midshipman and kind of like, you know, what that whole life might be. And which is great. And I like got a congressional nomination for everything. Like I applied and like, you know, went the whole 9 yards. Right. And ultimately didn't get in. Ultimately didn't get in, which is okay. But Logan Davis, like at some point during that process of me like applying for, you know, colleges and looking at stuff, reached out and basically said like, you know, we have a cross country team here, like, you know, love to have you kind of thing.
Was Logan the cross country coach at the time?
Yeah, cross country and wrestling.
Oh my gosh.
And Logan, if you're listening to this, you changed the trajectory of my life. Thank you. I probably don't give him enough credit for me coming out there, but what was unique is that he was the first coach to ever like tell me to pray about something. So like we were on a phone call and like he basically was like, hey, like you should pray about your decision. Like it doesn't matter like where you go. Like I think you should pray about like where you want to go. And ultimately I think that's what drew me to go into SVU is that I had never had a coach who like pushed that towards me. Right. And so
Logan just made the episode.
Logan made the episode.
Epitome of what we're doing here. I love it.
And so ended up going to like an open house. I mean, another like Easter egg about SVU is that I went to EFY there.
There you go.
All throughout like my teenage years, and so
like all of them. Oh, nice.
So I mean, my mom and dad forced me to go to EFY. They were like, "Oh, our kid is like, you know, our kid's, he." It wasn't even like I wasn't going to church or anything. It's just like they're like, "Oh, he's struggling. You know, we got to take him. He needs to get, you know, he needs to go to EFY." And so like, what's funny is like the whole time we're driving down there, I'm like, gosh, my parents suck. Like, I can't believe they're making me go to this lame thing. And we get there, like, dude, so like EFY, like we were staying in main hall.
Yeah.
And like I think I was on the third floor, dude. Like I think I literally worked. Like I spent 5 years at SVU working there, and like I was working in the spot where like my first year I slept. Yeah. Awesome. And so they dropped me off, dude, and I'm like, just go, like leave me alone. Like I don't want to talk to you about it. And by the time they come back, it's like, dude, I love this. Like, oh my gosh, my testimony.
Leave me here.
Like,
don't pick me up.
I think that was like one of the first experiences too for me where I realized like And don't get me wrong, dude, the people in my ward growing up, like looking back especially, were very normal LDS people. Like they were not weird at all. They were like the most normal. But it was great for me to like go somewhere and be around like more normal Latter-day Saints that were from other states, right? I was able to like experience being around other people that like they didn't know me. I could kind of like reinvent myself and be who I truly was, or my authentic self near them, and not feel like they knew that I cussed out the coach.
Right. Because everybody knows about that, but nobody at
everybody
PFY
knew,
knows
man.
about that.
So
yeah,
exactly.
That's
and
awesome.
so yeah, that's the other thing is I obviously had that connection to SVU from EFY, and then like Logan threw in the nugget about praying about my college decision, and ended up coming to SVU, and that first semester you were my RA, and ran cross country. I got a stress fracture and ended up spending a ton of time on a bike machine. I spend like an hour or two at a time, like literally just biking, and like it was the most depressing and soul crushing thing ever. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Like, I don't know what I want to do, but I don't think I want to be here. And then I stuck it out. My parents convinced me to stick it out. And then, that spring, Jason Lamb, like hallway recruited me, to play lacrosse.
I'm sorry. Hallway recruited is like the most SVU recruitment strategy I have ever heard. Hallway
For sure.
recruited.
Like, like as
that was how Matt got me to play
as,
soccer again.
Yeah, like as someone who like worked as an administrator in some ways at SVU, like to be honest, it's one of the worst things ever.
Oh, I'm
like,
sure.
For the athlete, it's great, but like for like an administrator, it's like the worst nightmare. It's like you want the school to spend even more money on this student. So like we already got them here. They're already doing one of these. You want them to do more for free? But so he hallway recruited me, and the rest is history, man. I didn't run cross country again. I played lacrosse all 4 years, and I mean that's also kind of a weird thing about my like athletic career is that like I played one single season of lacrosse in like 5th grade, and basically my like core memory of that is that my dad basically told me I wasn't aggressive enough for lacrosse, and that I should stick to soccer and baseball. And then my only other experience was playing D3 lacrosse in arguably the toughest conference in Division III. So
especially at the time.
So that's my lore, dude. That's my athletic background.
Gosh. I love it. Because at the time it was SVU, but then it was like CNU, Salisbury, Mary Wash,
York.
Oh my gosh, Frostburg, who was unreal back then.
Yeah, I think my senior year
now, right?
Yeah, my senior year, Frostburg is D2, and my senior year there was 5 teams in the CAC, the Capital Athletic Conference, which we were in. That were in the top 25 in Division III, and I think there were 3 teams within our conference in the top 10.
Yeah, it was CNU, Salisbury, and York, 2, right?
Yeah, York and Salisbury were 1 and 2, and then CNU was like
4 or 5 or
7.
Like that.
Yeah, they were like somewhere if maybe 5, 6, or 7, but like basically like we had the most stacked conference in the country.
Yeah,
and so that was my athletic career though.
Yeah, that was. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know you played soccer that long. Didn't know you played soccer
my whole
that
life,
long.
man.
Yeah, you should have. Friggin', we needed you, dude. We were so bad.
I know.
We were so bad. It's okay. It was probably better for you that you didn't play.
Maybe. I regret it sometimes. I do, because especially because you had Peyton on before as a guest. Like, what's funny is like Peyton and I became really good friends when we were at SVU, and like for me, like it would have been nice to have been able to like tell him like, yeah, man, I played in college too.
Chop it up about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Like, whereas for him, he's like, oh, Kiwi played club. Like he sucks, dude. But I don't know. Maybe he would have said that about me playing at SVU, dude. I don't know.
Dude, anyone that played that
at
year,
the time,
we don't have a lot to talk about. Yeah, we had I think we tied one game the whole season. We were like 14-1 or something like that. That was
crazy.
That was rough. It was rough.
It's a depressing season.
Yeah, it was tough. But also that was when I met Mo. Or that, not when I met Mo, but like we were like dating, so it was all good. So,
works out, man.
That's wild.
The Lord gives and he takes.
Yep. And he's always going to give more, but he's not going to give it at the same time.
Yep. So that's the background. That's how I got to SVU.
That's crazy. That's wild. That floor was something else. So I've I've had 2 of you now on the podcast, because you are on, and then I had Sean a couple weeks ago. Sean Breen, if you remember Sean, little Sean. That was a fun episode. Got a lot of his background that I didn't know either. I'm hoping to get Didi on here, because he's up in Draper now. So I might even
Derek,
see.
Yeah.
I might even see if he wants to come down, and we'll do an in-person, which would be fun. But
it'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's wild. Logan Davis, shout out Logan Davis.
Shout out Logan Davis.
He's very active on LinkedIn, so I'll make sure to tag him in the LinkedIn post, and I'm sure he'll see it.
I'm trying to hop on that train. I
saw that today.
He's convincing me.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on LinkedIn. I go back and forth with it, but
it can be a cesspool, though. It's not all good.
Yeah.
And now there's AI, dude. You just don't know. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's real, what's fake.
Yep. Yeah. I use AI a lot with this. To be honest with you, I use it a lot as far as like organizing everything and like cleaning up captions and stuff like that. But yeah, there's some stuff out there that it's like I write books too. I'm writing books. And like the number of authors that I see now who like have written for like 20 or 30 years, and now they're like, no, I just do everything with AI. Like, it blows my mind. It doesn't feel
crazy.
like you read a book. It just doesn't feel real. But anyways, not the topic.
So we could go down a rabbit hole with AI.
Yeah, we really could.
We could definitely go down.
Could.
I've got some hot takes for sure.
Oh no, me too. What's your if you have to use one? What's your AI of choice?
Chat. It's just what I'm comfortable with. I mean, like I've tried Claude. Like to me, I just don't get the hype of Claude, and maybe I'm just not making like an agent. I'm not like working with an agent. I like for me, the way I use AI is like I like talking back and forth with it. Like it's consulting me on stuff.
Yep.
And Claude, like I feel like it's kind of overrated when it comes to that.
Agreed.
It pretends to be polished, but it's just as dirty as the rest of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Have to be super specific. Claude is what I use for like work stuff, but it's because I've been like so detailed and so specific. It took me weeks to get it, maybe even months, to really like start getting it fine tuned and everything. But yeah, no, chat's perfect for just like talking back and forth and stuff like that.
It's $20 a month. It's like, I'm willing to drop that and share my life's details with it so that it knows every detail of my life.
Yeah. So the Russians can hack me 20 years down the road.
That's right.
Yeah. Gosh, if we're still here by then, we'll see. Oh my goodness. No, that's good. I appreciate you sharing kind of the path. And yeah, dude, there's coaches out there that like and I don't want to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but there are kids that I recruited who were LDS kids who like said similar things as far as like when I was going through the recruiting process with them. And like, that was one of my big things is like, always pray about it. And that was whether they were LDS or not, because one of the things that I was super upfront with everyone I recruited about was like my spiritual health and strength. And like, that's forefront in my life, and then my family, and then the game. Right. And so that was always big. And, a lot of like the international guys would be like, oh, I love that. I've never heard that before. I'm like, well, that's me, man. That's what you're getting if you come here. And I usually didn't get them, but it is what it is. It is what it is. No, I love it. Yeah, I definitely have to shout out Logan. So I do want to also dive in to some of these other questions that I sent you beforehand. One before we do that, how late are you usually staying up? Because I don't want to keep you too
Dude,
long if you need to go to bed.
I'm good forever, man.
Okay.
I mean, normally midnight, so I'm good.
Okay. We got a little bit then. Okay.
Do as much
So
time as you want, man.
love it. So you played 4 years of lacrosse at SVU. You played defense, right? You don't long stick?
Yeah, I started at D mid, and then
Okay.
I went from the small stick to the big stick.
So you played small. You played small
I went
stick
a short
DM,
stick,
short stick DM.
short stick, defensive midi, and
Okay.
then switched to close D.
Yeah. Okay.
I've never
Jeez.
played LSM, which is long stick midfielder. I
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
played that really. I
Yeah.
mean, there were times where I'd like go into that as like
Mhm.
I'd go on the wing during face-offs and
Okay.
like
Sure.
kind of like be like a hybrid.
Yep.
But no, I ended up mostly playing close by the time that I like
Yeah.
really got into my groove.
Didn't you guys, when you were playing, didn't you have a LSM who was just unreal? I'm trying to remember.
There's been a few at SVU that were like notable. I'd say the
Yeah.
two they're like, well, actually, I guess I'd say there were two that are like really notable to me, and then there's one who like also played close. But there's a guy named Nick Bear who I didn't play with, who was like a
Yep.
really big deal.
Yep.
And then I played with Derek Marks,
Yeah.
Native American,
Yep.
like really great
Yeah.
at
Marks was
lacrosse. Like
filthy.
grew up playing it,
Yep.
um, and yeah, really good, really talented. And then can't remember his last name, but Seth, he was there when I
Oh
worked at
yeah.
SVU. And he kind of played LSM and like close defense. But he was really legit. Like my first year working at SVU when they won the
Okay.
conference championship
Yeah.
and went to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Cool. Yeah, the way that program developed too was awesome to see. It was awesome to see.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So 4 years of playing lacrosse, and then the other day, on maybe it was yesterday, you shared a little bit about kind of your transition process out of playing into like marketing and media and film, and how was that kind of transition, if you want to talk about it again and repeat your own post or shout out your own post, right? And I'll make sure
shout out
we get it.
LinkedIn.
Yeah, we get it copied and all that. But yeah, what was that? What kind of sparked that?
So some more high school lore. I was like
Okay.
really into Call of Duty and video games. Well, I was really big
Right.
into video
Yep.
games my whole life. Like I
Yep.
was a
Yep.
closet nerd, like into
Yep.
Pokemon and into like all these different things. Like
In my hat. Yeah.
And like grew up with, you know, a DS, like
Yeah.
Game
Yep.
Boys, you know, all that stuff, like PS2, you know, PS1. I even started with a PlayStation, but anyways, gamed a lot. And this was before it was cool, it was before Twitch, just
Yep.
before any of
Oh
this
yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
and in high
What a
school
rough
actually
life we live.
yeah, it's terrible
Yeah.
life, dude,
It's terrible.
of obscurity, dude. Um but I was really into Call of Duty in high school, and you know, unfortunately for my mom, I was really into it. Uh, but I I got really into like sniping in that game.
Okay.
And it was kind of like an up and coming thing, and people would make
Yep.
videos and stuff. I ended
Yep.
up like buying a capture card. This is like back in 2011. So
Yeah.
like this is a long time ago when
Yep.
people had no idea what we're talking about. I had a thing
Yep.
called it was a Hapag, which was the
Okay.
company, and
Yep.
it was a
Yep.
capture card, and I'd plug it into my Xbox, and I'd have my computer next to it, and I'd be recording my gameplay.
Love it.
And I literally would make Call of Duty sniping montages, and I'd play games, I'd record it, I'd edit it, and you'd be on these clans. You know, if you've like
Yep.
if
Yep.
you've been into like Call of Duty space or gaming space, you know, of like FaZe Clan or like Optic, and they were just kind of like starting up around that time. But yeah, I was like really big into that, and I like learned how to edit videos. I might have put on my pirate hat and got some editing software. You know, Sony Vegas. I'm not sure if they're even making software anymore, but shout out, you know, Sony
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yep.
But you know, what's a high school kid gonna do, guys? What are they gonna do?
In 2011, especially.
In 2011, dude,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to do here? So I want to make Call of Duty videos. Like, come on. But yeah, so I ended up like making these videos, and so I share that because when I was in college, like some people knew that. They knew that I actually like edited stuff. I had some editing experience. Um, I ended up like picking up a camera in college and kind of like learning how to like, take photos and made some small videos. And a teammate of mine, Greg Gowdy,
Shout out Greg.
yeah. So we both, my freshman year I played, and then I actually like went out on a mission, came back home early. But my sophomore year, that spring, I came back and Greg had transferred to SVU. And so Greg and I played lacrosse together for 3 years.
Yep.
And we both were seniors at the same time, but we also had like some school left to do. And so we had finished our eligibility, and my like, I guess, super senior year where I'm like finishing my degree.
Yeah.
I realized like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like I'm learning these great things, these valuable insights from my professors.
Yeah.
I'm learning about business. But like I don't have any hard skills to like sell someone, right? I don't have anything that I can like go to an employer and be like, hey, I can do this. And right around that time, like Greg actually reached out to me. I can't remember if he called me, texted me, or like met me in person, but long story short, Joe Dupay, who was the head football coach at the time, this was his first stint at SVU, had connected with Greg because Greg had been making videos, and basically pitched Greg like, hey, would you like want to shoot our team and document our team this like fall, right? This whole season. And Greg had pitched it to his younger brother, Matt. Shout out Matt Gowdy. Also a great friend of mine.
Yep.
And Matt basically said no. He'd I think locked in being I think he was an area coordinator. So like he was over the lofts as an area coordinator. Him and his wife, he was married. And so he just like felt like he wanted to focus on school and also do that. And so I think Greg naturally was like, okay, well, who else do I know in the area that like has an interest in video and like has some skill set, right? And so he threw this opportunity at me, and basically it was $10,000 to like shoot and document this entire season for the football team. And there's more lore here, by the way. Joe Dupay was in my state growing up because he was coaching at Navy.
Oh yeah, he was coaching with Coach Ken. Yeah.
And so like I actually like knew him and knew his family. It's all crazy, man. It's wild.
And was that 10K up for like straight up, or was that split between? That was split between.
No,
you guys,
so
right?
it was 5,000 up front, split between both of us. So I got $2,500, and I spent probably more than that on my cameras. My camera gear.
Sure.
Yeah. And Alexis at the time, she graduated that summer. Alexis is my wife, for people on the podcast. Shout out my wife.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this. But she like had graduated and was working at Taps as like a waitress, and like basically she was like willing for me to like go and do this thing, and I'm really grateful for her like allowing me to go do that and spend this like $2,500 on cameras, and lens and tripod. Like really big sacrifice for me.
Right.
But yeah, we basically like bought the gear and then just started like shooting and documenting the team, and that's kind of like what got me into media, and whether that's creative, marketing, or social media, like that's where my start was.
Yeah. Love that.
So,
love that. Yeah, at SVU, man, because me and Mo have had so many, positive and negative experiences with SVU too, but that I feel like that's kind of a recurring theme where they're like, "We'll give you this opportunity, and give you nothing for it, but you have a good opportunity." So,
well, what's unique is that I don't know if the athletic department liked what Joe was doing. I think the athletic department was probably not, or maybe the athletic department was, but I don't think like the main campus was very happy that Joe was like hiring his own guys,
Sure.
At the time. So
at the time for sure. Yeah.
I'll have to ask Chris, for the record. Chris Pendleton was my boss, and he was
Yeah,
also
yeah,
at SVU when I was there.
yeah,
So like, I'll have to ask him what he thought about that when I was doing that. It'll be a
yeah.
fun conversation.
Definitely. Oh, I'm sure
He'll
it'll
probably
be.
say, "That was you," and I'll say, "Yeah, it was."
You're like,
Yeah.
oh man,
Um,
jeez.
but no, it was a great experience, and yeah, really grateful for Joe for being willing to, well, you, Joe, for letting me be on this, and I know we're not ending it,
Yeah,
but thank you. But Joe Dupay for helping kind of launch my career, to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah,
He really helped me out, and I don't think he knew that he was doing that, but years later I look back and yeah, he gave me a real opportunity to kind of do this in a real
yeah,
way.
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, shout out Joe Dupay. Who he's back now, right? He's in second stint
So
at
he
SVU now,
was
or I can't remember.
he left, I think, and is now a head coach. I think he's a head coach at his alma mater, in
Okay.
like as a high school coach at like I mean, I don't know if he ever sees this, but like, is it Alta? Like, I don't know. Skyline? I don't know, man. I don't know the schools,
Was he out
but he's
here?
at one of those schools. Yeah, he's like the head coach of one of these high schools. I think it's
Okay.
his alma mater. That's why he'll
Okay.
probably kill me
That's
if I
cool.
said the wrong one. So
No, that's cool though. That's cool. Yeah, I have to figure out which one it is. Dude, we had no idea, like, because like high school sports around the country are high school sports. Like it's intense. There's rivalries, all of that. We had no idea the depth of high school sports in Utah. And
yeah,
so we get out here, and we had our anniversary just like a week and a half ago, the 8th.
congrats.
Thank you. And we were like, it was actually Mo's idea, which I love. And she was like, we're going to go to the temple for our anniversary because we can. And at first I was like, why don't we, go see a movie or go get lunch? And she was like, no, when's the last time we went to the temple? And so I was like, okay, you're right. Wives are always right. 99% of the time they're right. So, so we go to the temple, and it was cool because we went to our temple. We went to Mount Tim, which is where we got married, got sealed. And we went and we did sealings, and which we hadn't
That's
done
awesome.
together since we got married. So that was cool. So we go up there, and it's a great time, obviously. And then we're coming out of the temple, and there were like 3 wedding parties, and there was this little group of girls, like, I shouldn't say girl, they were probably like 19, young women. I'm old now, so everyone is a girl. Anyways, so we're walking out, and I have this vest that I wear basically all the time. And I got it at Saracoso, and it's just this black, like, puffer vest, but it's become like a security blanket for me. So I just wear it everywhere. So I'm wearing like dress shirt, tie, right? And this vest, and the school I was at was Saracoso. And the colors were navy blue, Carolina blue, and white. So this vest says CC soccer.
Yeah,
in like
Corner
these
Canyon, dude.
in these blue
They're
colors.
gonna stone you, man.
So I walk out of the Mount Tim temple, and Mo walks up to this girl, or no, I walked up to her and I was like, "Can you take a couple pictures for us?" And she grabs my phone and she goes, "Yes, if you never work for Corner Canyon again." And I was like, "What?"
That's
I was like, "This
crazy.
isn't even
That's
Corner
crazy.
Canyon." And she was like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
That's crazy, man.
and so the first time I went to the temple out here, I walk in wearing the vest, and like a person at the desk, like when you walk in and scan your recommend, the guy was like, "Do you work for Corner Canyon?" And I was like, "No." Like, I had no idea. At that point, I had no
That's
idea
funny,
what he was
man.
talking about. And he was like, "Oh, I just, your vest." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then it's just become this thing. Like, people in our ward have asked, like, it's unreal. We had no idea the depth and the intensity of Utah high school sports. So that's been,
You be careful now.
dude, it's been interesting. Well, and we're like 3 miles away from Orem High School, who I didn't realize their football team is unreal. Like, they have was it Notre Dame? No. They have a OU commit. They have a kid who has like 17 D1 offers. Like, they're unreal. They just went to Hawaii to play a game, and they won by like 30 points on a Hawaii
That's
trip for a
crazy,
high
man.
school football team. Yeah, it's unreal. It's unreal. But yeah, I'll find out where Dupay's coaching now, and we'll make sure to get the right one in the caption.
I'm not
Oh
too
man.
stressed about it. It'll be fine.
No, it'll be
I'm
fine.
not worried about it.
That's cool though. I didn't know he was out here. So if we could actually backtrack a little bit, because I don't know your timeline, man. The timelines are important to me. I like to know all this. So
Yeah.
Went to SVU, and then so post freshman year you were going on a mission and then came home?
Yep.
Are you open
Yep.
to talking about that a little bit? Okay, let's dive into that then.
Okay. Where do you want me to start?
Let's see. So freshman year you go to SVU, stress fracture, injured, not playing. I'm assuming mission is kind of involved in that process, or not in that process, but like kind of going on at the same time. Or talk to me about that.
I mean, let's be real. You were my RA. I don't know if I was going to church, you know.
Dude,
I don't know, man.
I know Mike wasn't going to church.
Yeah. No, I think I was there were a lot of people not going to church. I think I was doing my best to go to church.
That floor was,
and
I feel so bad.
You know,
I was a terrible.
No, it was a fun time, dude. They're great experiences. No,
I was
don't
a
worry
great
about
friend. I was a terrible
great,
RA.
No, great RA. No, don't. Yeah, I'd say great. One of the best. No, so I can't really recall, dude. I mean, I remember going to church. Like, that's just the reality of my whole life. I always remember going to church. I don't really remember having like dry spells where I didn't go to church. Obviously there's like moments, but I think for the most part I went to church. But I don't think admission was really like I went to school like right when the age change happened. So like when I was in high school, my senior year, like, it gets announced and it's like everyone at church is asking, are you going to go on your mission? Are you going to do this and that? Right. It's like, no, like I'm going to college. Like I had planned my whole entire life. I'm not going to like pivot on a dime and like go for 2 years without, going to college. So, I go to college and at SVU, and you're independent and you can do what you want, and
not do what you don't want.
I remember going to church like actively. I don't remember like just not being active. But I don't think church was like necessarily top of mind for me at the time as a freshman. I don't think admission necessarily was. I was trying to figure out I was trying to just get to class, dude, and stop staying out until 3 a.m. every night. Like, and it wasn't like I was doing.
I never did that.
For me, it's not even like I was doing anything bad. It was just like I'm out with like friends and we're going to Sheets at 2 a.m. and like eating junk food that would make me feel sick now. So like, for me, it's just like there are things like that like, I wasn't really focused on that. I was focused on like being a freshman, and like being independent and like, learning what it's like to be on my own, but like figuring it out, So I get the stress fracture, Jason recruits me that winter to like basically play lacrosse. There's a funny story there too. I actually my parents' rule for me was if I wasn't playing a sport in college, I need to get a part-time job. And like, bro, if I'm going to pick between like working a job and playing a sport, I'm playing a sport every day of the week. And so I actually was like planning on playing baseball. Like I actually was like planning on reaching out to like, I think it was like Logan Mann. Yeah. I think Logan Mann was the baseball coach. And like, what's funny is I was like working out in the gym one day and Jason Lamb sees me and comes up and is like, hey, like you seem athletic. Like, would you want to play lacrosse?
He's so good at that,
dude. Well, for me, it's like I picked the path of least resistance, man. Like I just like I was like, dude, I don't have to talk to the coach. Like he talked to me. Like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
And the practices were at like 6 a.m. and Derek Purvis, who was like on my floor, was like, dude, you gotta play lacrosse, man. Like let's come on, like let's go do it. You know,
was Purvis and Monty.
Yeah, so ended up on the lacrosse team, whatever, that spring, and I decided to like put in my mission papers and kind of like figure out my stuff. And ended up like, funny enough, getting a mission call to Salt Lake City West. It's funny for me because like if you knew me like in high school or in like college, like the last place I wanted to be was Utah.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to go to BYU. I didn't want to go to the University of Utah.
Yeah.
My mom and dad both got their undergrads at BYU, and my dad got his law degree from University of Utah. So like I don't have
Okay.
like a bias, but
Sure.
and they're not like fanatics either. Like they're actually like, you know, normal
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
normal alumni of an institution where they
Right.
just don't
Right.
really care. They just got their degree and moved on. But
Yeah.
obviously they support, but like they didn't
Sure.
have like, I wasn't like watching BYU games as a kid, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just not, that wasn't my life and that
Yeah.
wasn't what I grew up doing. Um, but yeah, I remember like opening my mission call and like like reading it out loud, and like I my mom thought I was like joking when I like said it. Like, and I'm like laughing, right? Like I'm like, this is crazy. Um, but I ended up like, preparing to go on a mission, all that jazz. Um, go and, get endowed to the Washington DC temple. Um, which is quite an experience as like
Oh yeah.
a young man, and yeah,
Oh
just
yeah.
it, yeah, it's just interesting. And one of my best friends from college like actually was there for my endowment too.
No, this is real.
I end
This
up
is authentic. It's good.
yeah, I'm in mission prep. I'm in mission prep mode. Um, and
Were you in
anyways,
my mission prep
go out.
class?
I don't know. I don't think I even took a mission prep class, to be honest. I'm more just saying like I was just preparing for
Just
my
like
mission,
mission
right?
mode. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I got you. I got you.
and I think I want to say that like I went out on September 24th. I think that's like when I went out on my mission, and my mom flew me out to Utah, dropped me off at the Provo MTC, and then I obviously was in there for 2 weeks. The MTC is a unique experience as like an
Yeah.
English speaker.
Yep.
Because as an English speaker, you like go in, and it's just like, as an English speaker, you go in and it's like sacred, right? It's like these buildings are consecrated for the work.
Yep. Yep.
They're these special buildings, and then like I look across the hall, and there's these like foreign speakers, and they're playing golf in the hallways, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're like
Yeah.
going crazy, and I'm like, what's going on, dude? Like they've been in here for too long. Like let them out.
They've been here too. They got cabin fever. At
Yeah,
the MTC.
dude. The prisoners have taken over, dude. The warden's nowhere to be found, man. Like, yeah.
They used to have to be there for like 7 weeks.
No, I know. I think
It was
that's like why
unreal.
they were losing their minds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I was in the MTC for 2 weeks, uh, and then I end up going out into the field, and kind of unique because like I'm serving in Utah, so like I just hop on we end up just like hopping on the tracks and like going up to get picked up for to go to the mission house or go to the
sure from the MTC, sure,
the mission office and
Yeah.
talk with the mission president, his wife, and like the MTC was a great experience. It was great for me to like learn from different different people who have been on mission. It's great to learn from like my companion at the time, the people that were in like my district and zone or whatever. But the whole time, like I just was like wrestling with these feelings of like, man, like I think I've got some stuff I need to like be working on, And I remember getting to the mission office or the mission home, whatever it was called. But anyways, we're in this building. It's a church building. It must have been the mission office. Like it's what it must have been. And I remember like sitting down, it's all of our like, all the new missionaries, and like I don't even know if we'd met our trainers yet. Maybe we had. We had met our trainers. So I meet my trainer, and we're sitting down, and the mission president's wife is talking to us. And at the end of her talk, she's just like, hey, like if you have anything that you like need to resolve, like any past things that like you didn't get sorted out before you like came out, like you should call, mission president or call my husband, right? And I remember just being like, man, I got to call, like for sure,
Sure.
And I leave, and we're just kind of in the thick of just navigating getting out into the field, right?
Yeah.
And so like we leave, and just things pop up and different stuff happens, and I don't think I brought it up with my trainer until the next day. Maybe I did bring up that day. I can't like really recall what happened, but I ended up just saying like, hey, like I think I need to talk to like the mission president, right?
Yeah.
And so I ended up like calling and just kind of like saying, hey, I'd like to like meet and talk, and we ended up meeting, and I just shared with him like, yeah, I've got some stuff that I need to work on, and at the time, like, he wasn't sure if he was gonna like send me home or not. It was more just
Wow.
like, it was kind of like, hey, we're gonna like call your stake president, and we're gonna like work some of these things out. And so call the stake president, and that's just kind of a tough call to kind of say
Yeah.
that you like,
Yep.
you know, maybe weren't truthful or fully honest about where you were at. And I ended up having to have like an interview with, we ended up having a mission conference during that time,
Sure.
that 2 week
Sure.
period that I was out there. And there's a general authority that came, and he ended up interviewing like 3 people from the mission, and I was one of them. And,
Oh my
uh,
God.
which was fine. Like, it was fine. And it was a
Yeah.
unique experience. And I think he gave me a
Yeah.
blessing. And,
That's
but,
cool.
I think in a lot of ways, like, they were all just kind of figuring out like what the right thing was for me. And I found out later that ultimately it was my stake president who got to call the shot of like what happened.
That's
And
cool.
so he ultimately like, you know, brought me back home. Um, but I think my mission president, I think the general authority, and like, my stake president, if they'd all like agreed to keep me out, like, I could have navigated those things.
Sure. Sure.
Um, and that was a really unique experience because, to be honest, like, the missionaries, like, my trainer knew what was going on. I kind of like disclosed to him, like, hey man, like, this is what's going on. And we went on like splits with our like zone leaders,
Zone
and
leaders.
like,
Yep. Yep.
we like, I like shared with them what's going on with them too, right? And I actually think like one of the zone leaders ended up like going home early too. Like, I don't know if I like inspired him to like be honest too, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's all weird.
That's kind of cool.
Everybody goes through their own repentance process, but
Yep. Yep.
yeah, unique experience for me. I remember like, I mean, one of the hardest things was like calling my mom, and like
Mm.
calling her on the phone saying, hey, like, I'm coming home, and she's just like,
Yep.
what's going on,
Yeah.
and um, it was hard for her too, because I'm in this spot where like, I know you felt this. I know most people have felt this, that like when you're in the repentance process, like that's sometimes when you feel like the most spiritually in tune. Like, it's
Oh
it's where you
yeah.
feel like
Oh
the
yeah.
Lord's presence with you. And so like,
100%.
it was weird for her because like I'm basically telling her, hey, I messed up, and like I wasn't honest before I left, and I need to go and like repent of these things. But like, the Lord, like, this is the right thing to do. And she's just like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I knew in my heart that like the easy thing would have been to stay on my mission. Like, the hard
Yeah.
thing would be to like go
Yeah.
back and like face these things. And so yeah, I decided to like go back home, and well, I guess didn't decide, but I decided to like, be honest about everything, and
Yeah.
and see like where the chips fell, where they lied. And I think in a lot of ways, like, the story I was sharing with myself was like Alma the Younger story of like,
Mm.
Alma the Younger did all these terrible things, and like he like through his works in a lot of ways, like he like found repentance, right? And
Yeah.
so in a lot
Yep.
of ways, like, I was like, hey, like, I've like done some bad things, I've messed up, I've made mistakes, but like I'll go on my mission, and like I'll like work it off, like I'll go and
Mm.
like
Yeah.
prove
Yeah.
that I'm
Yeah.
worthy by
Yep.
like being willing to like do the hard thing. When in reality, like, that might have been like the easy path. Like, the hard path is
Yeah.
actually to like go back and like face the reality, and like face like the things that you might have not dealt with, And
Yeah.
so yeah, I went back, and it was a unique time, and it was really tough to be home. My parents were confused about everything, and were kind of rightfully so frustrated about everything. And
Sure. Sure.
my dad was in the bishopric at the time, and you know
Mm.
I, he yeah, just, I think he was a little bit embarrassed to like see me come home, and
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
necessarily expect that his son would like come back. And that was at a time too where like it was still,
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a stigma to that. Like, it
Yep.
wasn't like
Yep.
normal. I'd say a lot, a
Yep.
lot of things have happened now where people kind of are desensitized to coming home early, and whether that's for mental health or physical health, or whether it's for, repenting, like, I feel like people are a lot more open-minded now than they were,
Yeah.
even,
Agreed.
even 10, 15 years ago, right? Um, and yeah, ended up coming home, and um, I went back to like working a job that I was working at, and uh ultimately, like, it's all gonna sound kind of weird. Like ultimately, I like felt prompted to like go back to SVU, and I had like a dream. I won't go into the details, but I had a dream that basically inspired me to go back. And then Jason Lamb, the day after I had that dream, called me, or he texted me saying like, Kiwi, like, how are you? You know, and like we ended up connecting, and it just kind of like pulled me back there. And
Yeah.
I had to kind of like fight with my like stake president to like go back. Like he
Sure.
like,
Sure.
because there was the whole, you know, you had to get your ecclesiastical endorsement, and like he wasn't sure he wanted to sign it if I went back, but I was able
Jeez.
to kind of convince him. And um yeah, unique experience. And you know, also unique experience to like go through like a disciplinary council. I don't know if they're called those
Yeah.
anymore, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
that's what it
think
was
so.
called when like when I was
Yeah.
going through it. And very unique experience. And you know, my bishop was kind of like my advocate for me. And um he was a convert to the church and used to be Baptist. And like I remember him saying like we all fall short of the glory of God, you know, like he'd say things like that. And like, you know, like he was just like
Yes.
so like kind to me
Yeah.
about this whole thing. And
Yeah.
um and he knew that like I had a good heart, and that like wasn't, you know, there wasn't malice, or there wasn't, you know, like
Right.
ill
Right. Right.
intent with things. And so the process was like really good for me in that way. But yeah, definitely like struggled, you know, in different ways, you know, to get back on the straight and narrow. Uh but yeah, we all figured it out. And that next, you know, that spring I played lacrosse. That's when I met Greg. That's when he came and transferred. And then the following fall is when I met my wife Alexis. So like it all kind of worked out.
Yeah. Love that. So jump right into that then, because we got a little bit more time. So I'd love to talk about you and Alexis, if that's okay. And then your family a little bit, and then I always end with the same question, so we'll get there in a little bit. But yeah, if you would jump into kind of the family side of things, and you know how you guys met, and because you guys have moved quite a bit too, right? Like not like a ton, but you've moved a few times, and there's been a lot with you guys. So yeah, dive in.
Yeah. So Alexis and I both came to SVU at the same time, and we were actually like in the same ward. I mean, we all were. Like you
Yep.
were in the same ward as
Yeah,
her
yeah, yeah.
too. And
Yep.
it's funny because like we hung out with the same people, but we never
Mhm.
hung out together. And yeah, sorry, I'm laughing because
No, it's okay.
freshman year she was dating someone, and I remember being like, how is she like dating this dude? Like I just don't like get it. Like and I was like, man, like how does someone like that attractive like date this guy? You know, like what's going on? Like what am I doing wrong? You know? Uh and like I like distinctly remember having that conversation with Aaron and with Mike,
Yep.
who were like my good friends like my
Yep.
freshman year.
Yep.
And like it's just funny that like she's the girl I ended up marrying. So it's just, I mean, it all works
Yeah.
out. But um so we didn't talk at all like, you know, freshman or sophomore year. And then junior year, we like had a coaching class together.
Oh,
And
cool.
I remember I want to say that like I think she was sitting in a seat, and I either sat in front of her. I sat in front of her, I think, maybe. And I think she like, I think we looked at each other. She was like, "You're Kiwi, right?" And I was like, "You're Alexis, right?" And that was like all we said. We didn't say a single thing beyond that. Like that's
That's all
all
you
we
need.
said. We just affirmed to each other that we like knew each other by name, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and we kind of moved on. But then, like later on that week, there was a women's soccer scrimmage, and she had actually like
Mm.
left the team because she was just like so
Oh
disappointed
yeah.
with how the program was going. And but she went to support her friends. And what's funny is like I actually like went to that game to like basically pick up girls. Like it was me and like my roommates, like we're
Sure.
going to
Sure.
like go and, you know, find girls. And I remember like we were talking like these, it was the three of us talking to like two girls, and I was like, yeah, like I'm out. Like I'm gonna go like get some air. Like I'm good. Like you guys
Yeah.
can just like talk to these girls.
Yeah.
And Alexis was like standing on the sides, like there's these bleachers watching
Yeah.
the game, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like standing next to a bleacher. And so I go and walk over to her, and we just started talking. And so, like, I mean, we probably talked for like 30 minutes by the bleachers, and I offered to like walk her to her car. She like walks, I walk her to her car. She's like, hey, like, do you want to ride back down, to your house? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I hop in the car, and what's funny is like we're driving down the hill,
Yep.
to get down from the fields, and I see my two friends, my two roommates. They both like see me in this car with this girl, and they're like, "What's going?" Like, I'm sure for them, they're like, how, like, what's going on? Like, who's this girl?
Yeah.
Like, why is Kiwi in this car with like this girl? Like, what happened? Like he left, and now he's like with this
Now
girl,
he's the one
and they're by themselves. Yeah, they're not with the girls, right? It's like they're by themselves. They're like, dude, what happened?
Right.
And so I roll my window down. I'm like, hey, like, hop in the car, like, we're gonna get a ride. And what's funny is that like one of my friends ended up calling dibs on her, and bro code. I stood back, and I tried to make it happen as long as I could, and he kind of bowed out by like not taking action. And so your boy had to step in, and I already knew that we had like feelings for each other, so it wasn't a big deal.
Sure,
but like, I
sure.
knew, like, yeah, if he's not gonna like go for it, man, like I'm gonna go for this, because
Yeah.
I was into her and she was into me, and yeah, that's kind of how we met and started dating.
Yeah, I love it. So that was your junior year. So me and Mo were in Arizona at that point, right? That would have been
Maybe, yes.
What year?
Yes,
Yeah,
you were. Yep,
because we
yep.
were just
20.
there.
That was 20. That was 2015.
Oh no, then we would have been there.
Could have sworn you guys were gone, but you might be right.
We got married fall of 14, and then 14 and 15, and then we stayed one more year for me to do my junior year, and then we left spring of 16. So we were probably there.
Yeah,
but our friend group like fluctuated so much.
You guys are probably in like the Gail Smith apartments then.
Yeah, we were in Gail Smith. We would have like Sean would come over. Casey would come over every now and then. You were busy, man. But it's all right. There's a lot going on. I love it. I love that. So
now I think about it, you're right though, because I remember there was a trip. I think you were you helping with the basketball team or something?
Yep.
Okay, so you're helping with the basketball team. This is a funny story.
Is this the bonfire story?
But yeah, it doesn't have to be in the podcast, but I'll throw it out there.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. So Mo is over. It's me, Alexis, and Mo. We have like a little bonfire at like the Lax house. Yeah. And I'm like, pouring some gasoline onto the fire, as you do.
Of course.
As you do, of course. And the fire reaches the nozzle of the gas canister.
Yep.
And so I'm like, what's going on? Like, Alexis gets into, she's looking around, this and that. Mo's just she's just sitting there, like, blank stare into the fire, like into the abyss, just like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And Alexis is trying to find something. She's like, where's the water? Like this and that. And I think Casey and like Big Sean were in the house. They could hear some commotion, and they like, the Lax house, how it's like designed is like, it's just, imagine a rectangle, and there's like a porch in the middle of that. Yeah. And we're on the side. And so they're here, and they're yelling at me saying, throw it, like throw the gas canister. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to blow up this house if I throw the gas canister. It'll all blow up. And like, finally, I like grab my Powerade that I like bought from a gas station. I'm like this broke college kid. Like, I barely buy myself anything. And I've got this like Powerade, and I like douse it out. And yeah, so I know you're right. You guys were there.
Yeah. Yeah, Mo has.
But she's just staring
bonfire.
Just blank stare into this like abyss that like we're all dead.
Yeah,
like this is how it ends.
She's told me many times like she was just so like she was so tired that she was just like, okay,
this Whatever. Is it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the bonfire.
But Sean and Casey were like, throw it. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to kill us all. Like, I'm going to burn this house down if I throw this thing.
Freaking massive Molotov cocktail if you throw that thing. Oh my god.
Exactly. So
that's
throw it. That's a good story.
Yeah. She's told me about the bonfire many a time. That was an interesting semester. That was working with the basketball team was fun most of the time. It had its moments where I regretted it, but it was pretty good most of the time though. Oh man. No, I love that. So with you and Alexis then, because again, like you guys have kind of moved around a little bit, and you've done your career. You went to BYU, and you went back to SVU, and then you went to Utah, and now you guys are moving again, and all over the place, right? How are some ways? And you guys have kids now, who we still haven't met. We have to meet before you guys leave. We gotta meet your kids.
That'd be awesome.
But what are some ways that you, from your career and the things that you've learned and been trying to do, what are some ways that you and Alexis try to? And I had to, when I was talking with Austin and Larry, I had to choose my words really carefully because their kids are still really little. So like Anue's 7 now. So like we can be a little bit more direct with him on some things. And Marley's 5, but she's also a girl, and so she's a little bit more mature. So kind of same thing. We can be a little bit more direct. Like our 2 and 3-year-old, we can't sit down and be like, okay, we're going to be balancing athletics and faith. And we're going to be, so your kids are around our kids' ages, right?
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah.
My son will turn 7 in October, and my daughter's going to turn 5 in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So pretty close. So what are some ways?
Just turned 2.
Yeah, love that. What are some ways that you guys have tried to kind of influence that prioritization, I guess you could say, in children?
It's tough, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's really difficult. And I think I'm doing okay. I think I need to put a lot more effort into that, to be honest.
Sure. Same. Yeah.
Obviously, offline, we've talked about the life I've had for the last 10 months.
Yep.
I don't want to use that as an excuse, but I have been kind of more worried about like our overall stability more than kind of like locking in on any singular detail, which is probably bad of me, to be honest. Because if I trusted in the Lord and I doubled down on Him with my family, things are gonna work out. And not that we're not like we're going to church, we're doing the right things, and we're trying to be good parents and good stewards of our children, but it's really tough, man. Like my 2-year-old is like obsessed with Spider-Man right now. My 4-year-old daughter is just loves like princesses, loves just, all kinds of stuff. And then my son, my oldest son, he is like locked in on like Pokemon and on like Avatar: The Last Airbender and like, just these things that like, they're cool, but like they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Yeah. And so for me, that's where it's hard is like, how do I like place Jesus in the forefront of their minds when like they're seeing Zuko fight Princess Azula, dude? Right. They're watching Ash fight Gary, dude. It's like I gotta like find ways
Gary
to,
is Satan.
To navigate that. Yeah, no, for sure. So, yeah, I need to be better about that, dude, to be honest. I'm not sure I have it like locked in. But to be honest, I think even acknowledging that you're not perfect at that, I think is a step in the right direction as a parent. And it means that you're like really deeply thinking about like what your kids are being influenced by. What I will say is that I think there's lots of positive lessons from a show like Avatar: The Last Airbender. And not that I'm saying that's a substitute at all for the doctrine of Jesus Christ or anything related to our church. But I will say, like, I'm glad that like the media I do show my kids like is positive, and it's stuff that like I want them to have. It's traits that I want them to have instilled,
Yeah.
That's huge. I do think there's lessons of like, there's lessons of redemption in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and sorry, this is not me just like praising that show, but it is.
Dude, I'm here for. We have the whole series on our bookshelf.
Yeah, man, it's incredible. But yeah, I think like finding good ways of like showing them also like media that amplifies or exemplifies Jesus Christ and like his sacrifice for us like is like helpful, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And that's something that probably I will do is make comparisons. Like we're all kind of like Zuko, right? We're all making mistakes and we're asking for forgiveness,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yep.
And I don't know, in a weird way, like I think there's ways to draw lessons from great media, and
Yeah.
great books, you know, regardless of whether or not it's the scriptures, you can draw a lot of influence, um, when it comes to our Savior from other things.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. That's our kids. We've got some special kids, man. They do so much stuff like on their own. And like me and Mo, one of the beliefs that we have as far as parenting is like good parents, it's hard to be good parents. It's like if you think parenting is easy, you're probably not a great parent. But if you think parenting is hard, that means you're actively parenting, right? You're actively trying to do these things and corral 1,000 children in one house at the same time, and it's exhausting. But no, yeah, we've got Avatar on our bookshelf, we've got Pokemon on our bookshelf. That's every Saturday morning. Because when I was a kid, you know, when you were a kid, we didn't have
Cartoon Saturday, yeah.
Yes, we didn't have Peacock and Netflix and Paramount and Disney. We didn't have all those things. And so we've got DVDs on our bookshelf, and Saturday morning, it's the DVD player. That's it.
Yeah.
And they get to choose. They've got, and like we have little ones too. So we've got like Blue's Clues and Veggie Tales and like all of those. And so they love those. They love those. And
Awesome.
you know, I love what you said about like media. You know, we're told to read from the best books, right? We're told to use media in the right way. So I love that. But yeah, man, parenting is hard, dude. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't
so
have it
worth
locked
it.
down. Like, I mean,
No, and I don't think
an
anybody does.
imperfect. Yeah, I'm an imperfect father. I'd say I'm a better husband than I'm a dad. And
Ooh.
that's not it's not something I'm like proud of. It's just like the reality is that like I think, yeah, being a provider is like really difficult, right? It's really hard to be a provider and also be a nurturing father at the same time.
Yep.
And that's a balance that like I'm trying to like navigate. You know, I have a lot of grace for my dad, or for any dad for that matter, because it's a freaking balancing act, man. Like it's a lot. And don't get me wrong, dude, moms have it way worse. I'm not gonna front. Like we've got the easy part.
Yeah.
But in either way, like in either case, like, you know, I have a lot of grace for moms and dads, and we're all trying to do the best that we can, and we're all trying to figure it out as we go. And I think a lot of times as like children, we think that our parents have it all figured out, and when you get older, you realize they had no idea, you know.
Yep.
And so and that's even if they had great parents too. It really doesn't matter. You can have great parents and like still not know what the F is going on.
Yep.
Like that's just the reality. So yeah, I don't know, man. I know it's like a weird thing to say, but yeah, I'm trying to be a better dad.
Yeah, that's not weird
really
at all.
that's really what I'm trying to do, man.
That's not weird at all. That's again, that's honesty and authenticity, and that's everything I'm looking for on this podcast. So that's perfect. That's perfect. And you know, like I said, kind of at the beginning, I think it's important. Jeez, I'm getting tired. It's important for like kids to see these different sides of everything, and I would much rather have someone come on here and say, it's hard to be a dad. It's hard to struggle. It's hard to do this, than to come on and say, no, everything's great. Right? Because that doesn't teach you anything. You don't learn anything from that. But it is a struggle. It is hard. And I saw a post, or I should say, I see posts all the time where it's like millennial dads is the hardest generation of dad because of everything we have access to and all the expectations that are there and all of, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It just builds
For
on
sure.
it and everything. And I think there's definitely merit to that for sure. You know, I think about like even because also people see people that are like, well, what about like dads during World War II that had to go to war? And someone will respond and be like, they went to war. That's what they did. Like, that's what they did.
Right.
And
They didn't
now,
have a choice. They
yeah, they didn't have a choice. That's what they did. And
Yeah.
now it's like dads are like mental war every day. right? Emotional war every day, and they're dealing with all this extra stuff. So it is tough. It's tough, man.
For
Anytime you
sure.
want to chit chat, give me a call and we can talk about how hard life is. It'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hopefully we start talking about wins we're having. That's what I'd rather do.
Yeah, no, I
We
would love
started
that.
talking about dubs, dude.
I would love that. I would love that. I had a real quick, and then I got one more question. Just you said talk about dubs. I had a really cool temple experience the other day that I think I'm comfortable talking about on here. I think most of the people who watch this are LDS, and so I'm in the temple, and I'm, you know, I'm 34 now. Am I 34? I'm getting old, man.
No,
But
you're young.
yeah, we're all
You
young,
don't have as
right?
many grades as me, and I'm only 31.
True.
I'm going straight grade, dude. You're looking young.
Oh man, and Mo always takes pride in like finding a little gray here, like. But no, my whole life I've been in the church, and you always hear about people that are like, "Oh, I went to the temple and I saw my grandma," and you hear that all the time, and like I've had a couple experiences like that, like where I've feel like I've been in the presence of an ancestor or something like that, and it's been really powerful. It's been really cool, but not a lot. And I went to the temple the other day, and we've been here. It's mid-August now, so we've been here 2.5 months, and I've gone not every Tuesday, but at least every week since we've been here. And
It's
it's been
awesome.
really cool. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. And there have been a few weeks where like I've gone, and I always go super early in the morning, like 6 or 6:30, like one of the first 2 or 3 groups that are at the temple. And there have been a few mornings where like I'll get there and I'm like, am I already just like going through a routine? Like, am I just going through a routine and just doing this just to do it? And this week, so yesterday, I went and I'm going through and I'm looking at the names that I'm doing work for. And in the middle of one of these names, I'm reading, and I always try to like read these names that I'm doing work for and really, really think about like the spirit of this person. And for anyone who's not LDS, and this is super weird, I'd love to talk about it as well. But I'm sitting there, and and the person's talking, and I'm looking at this name, and I just feel this like, thank you, Brother Michelle. Thank you. Like 4 or 5 times, just over and over and over. And that had never happened to me. That was
That's
cool.
really cool.
That
Yeah.
was like, and that to me was also like, you should keep going. It's one of those things where like it feels like it's become a routine, and then you have an experience like that, and you're like, oh no, there's a reason I'm
It's
going. There's
special.
a
Yeah.
reason I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely a win. So there you go. There's
That's
the
really
win for
cool.
the
That's a
conversation.
huge win.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome. And there have been a lot of little wins since we've been here. Like I said, I don't remember if this was before we started recording or not, but like I don't have a job right now. Like there's a lot of losses that we could focus on, but there have been so many like little wins like that. Opportunities to
Yeah,
catch up
man.
with all of these SVU friends, and and other people, and some of the people that I'm going to have on the podcast are amazing. And so there's things that are happening, right? There's things that are happening. And I'm a huge advocate for celebrating the little wins. Because if you don't celebrate the little wins, you just get depressed. Because the big wins are
For
so
sure.
frequent.
No, I well, first off, I hate losing. That's just
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
a thing
Yeah.
for me. Like
Yep.
I
Yep.
absolutely hate losing. So
Yep.
like I'm in my own like personal hell right now. I'm sure you feel
Yeah.
that way in some ways.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But but dude, I also think the Lord, I said it earlier, but like he gives and he takes, and I think in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of ways, like when you're in these like unique situations or trials that you're going through in life, he still blesses you, dude. Like he
Yeah.
blesses you.
Yeah.
He's blessed me and my family, and it's just a unique experience to from like a worldly perspective to be like losing, but like in the grand schemes of things be like winning,
Yeah.
the spiritual
Yeah.
side of things.
Yep.
Because the Lord still blesses you for being a son or daughter of his, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And our Heavenly Father really cares about each one of us individually. And yeah, I just think Yeah, dude. Things are gonna turn, man. The other thing I'd say about your podcast, and this is something that like I'm also trying to like really double down on. Sorry, I'm gonna like talk like business just for a little bit.
No, I love it. I love it.
Dude, I just like really, really, you can call it karma or whatever. I don't like that. Like, I don't believe in like karmic justice. I don't like that concept, but I do believe that if you put good into the world, something good will come back. And so, for me, like what's cool about your podcast and it's kind of what I'm trying to do with my content is I'm trying to provide a lot of value to people,
Yeah.
whether that's, and I talked about it before, but I really feel like the two ways you can do that is entertainment or education. And on this end, hopefully it's a little bit of both, right? Like the best content in my mind is the one that's educating and it's entertaining. But dude, I guess what I'd just say is like, yeah, even with the downs that you're having, I think naturally as you have more conversations and you put more into the world, dude, good stuff's gonna happen for you and your family, and the Lord's gonna bless you, dude, and probably in ways that you don't expect, and same for me. And obviously I'm hopeful and optimistic about those things. But yeah, I really believe that yeah, dude, it all comes around,
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that too. And I've been going to one of the things that I've like struggled with because we've moved, this was our 19th move since we've been married.
It's crazy.
And like some of those were like in BV where we moved like to Gale Smith from the cottage and like, but 19 moves still is like nuts. So something I've struggled with is like developing relationships and developing friendships, like wherever we're at, because subconsciously in the back of my mind, I'm always like, we're probably
You're
gonna move
leaving
in a year. Yeah. So why bother? But so since we've been out here, I found like a men's group that I've been meeting with, and it's awesome. It's been awesome.
That's really cool.
And that's been one of those things where like I never would have thought about that. But then we're out in Utah, and I'm like, all these guys are members, right? Go to a little men's group to hang out with just people, and that's kind of been easy too, because like our elders quorums kind of feels like a men's group too, rather than like trying to pick out individual friendship. I would love to be friends with Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill be my best friend, right? But at the same time, I'm like, everyone in our elders quorum is awesome. And we have guys that are like Taysom Hill who are, my age and a pro athlete. And then we have guys who are like really old, like retired. They don't do anything anymore. But it's felt really, really close. So
united.
The karma, I don't really believe in karma either, but I do believe in the, give good to get good. Oh, what? I don't know if you can see it. So can you see this book right here?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's called,
I can't read it, but
yeah, it's called Connected to Goodness. It's by David Meltzer.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually went to SVU a while ago. He started one of the biggest sports marketing firms in the world, Sports One Marketing, with Warren Moon. And his whole book is about like, he's not LDS, but his whole thing is about like vibrations and like the goodness in the universe, frequencies. Yeah. Fantastic book. Highly recommend. But that's kind of what he talks about, is like manifesting and believing in the frequencies. And if you give good, you're going to get good. So definitely believe in that. And we're almost out of time though, because you said like max is midnight. So you got to go to bed.
Yeah, it's whatever you want, man.
Well, no, it's all right. It's all right. I had that whole energy drink, so after we're done, I'll probably like play Assassin's Creed for a couple hours or something. We'll figure it out.
Listen, no, I'm here, dude. I'm having a good time, so it's as long as you want this thing to be, man.
It's been honestly so good catching up with you. It really has.
Listen, like we can edit this part out, but dude, I'm unemployed right now, Joe.
Me too, man.
I don't have anything to wake up for tomorrow.
Oh, see, I have
other
a
than my
2-year-old
kids,
and a 3-year-old.
Yeah, no. Other than my kids and my wife, dude, like no one's, I can sleep in is what I'm saying. Like it'll
see,
be okay.
That's nice. I can't. Mo's far enough along now that like when the 2 and the 3-year-old are up, I'm up. So it'll probably be like 5. So maybe I'll have to cut it. Yeah, man, unemployment it's an interesting road. Okay. So last question I usually ask, and if we want to keep going after, that's fine. But last question I usually ask everyone is everything we've talked about, the idea behind the podcast. What would be Kiwi's piece of advice to teens, young adults, old adults, right? Anyone who might be listening, and maybe it's one person listens to this, maybe this is the one that takes off and everybody listens to. What's your one piece of advice as far as like balance and not necessarily just like balance between faith and athletics, but faith and mental health, faith and athletics, faith and physical health, just, keeping faith involved in your life. What's your one piece of Kiwi advice?
It's a good question. It's a deep question.
That's why it's got to be the last one.
Well, first off, I do believe that, I do believe in like keeping yourself like physically fit and mentally fit, and I think those things really matter, and I think they affect your well-being across the board.
Yep.
I know when I've not been consistent with being active or challenging myself mentally, that like I've not felt good, about myself or about my circumstance. I think where faith like ties into that is kind of realizing that that's the experience of being here on this earth, right? Is to go through kind of those like ebbs and flows of being a human, whether that's the mental challenges or the physical ailments or problems that we're going to face, and, I think that's, I don't know, I'm trying to be deep, but the reality is I just think faith allows you to be optimistic about your life. To me, I think I think by like believing in a higher power, having something beyond yourself that you're looking towards as an example or as your salvation in a lot of ways is a hopeful and optimistic mindset to have. And I don't think being pessimistic is like a helpful trait. And that's coming from someone who actually, I feel like I actually like tend to be pretty pessimistic and like, pretty like realistic about situations that I'm in.
Sure.
But what's been unique over the last 10 months is that I've basically had to be optimistic about the future because the present has been really crappy. My dad would say that it's like embracing the suck. Like I've had to embrace the suck over the last like year.
Yep.
And so for me, in a lot of ways, just having faith and having that optimism and hope that there's something in the future that's better, keeps me going. So yeah, I know that's weird, and maybe that doesn't tie necessarily directly to like our faith, but or to our religion, but the reality is, if we all believe that like, Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, His Son, care about us deeply and that they have a plan for us, that the only thing we can do is be optimistic for the future. In my mind,
yep, I love that.
So yeah, that's my best answer, I think, at almost midnight.
Almost midnight.
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
I haven't had caffeine for a while. My Coke ran out, dude. I needed a refill.
Dude, my drink has been empty for probably the last 45 minutes of this. But I'm also running off of 200 milligrams of caffeine right now, so
I'm
about
jealous.
30 minutes, I'm gonna spike right up again. So
get your second win.
Yeah, it'll be like my fourth win at this point, but. No, I love that. That's something we actually talked about. So last night was when I was with that men's group, and we talked about like the past and then present and then the future and then optimism. And we talked a lot last night about like being present and had some guys kind of open up a little bit, which is always cool in a men's group, when once you start to kind of trust each other a little bit more, and it transitions away from like everyone awkwardly trying to make jokes to like guys being like super real about stuff. So
for sure,
it was cool.
And you always know like when you've broken, when you like break that threshold, dude, like you can't really go back to the jokes, dude. That day, you kind of have to like everybody locks in. They're like, yo, this is crazy. Like this is serious. Time to. No, I think that's something that I've really missed, actually. It's something that was unique about being at SVU and working there, was that when I was at BYU, dude, I was...
Yeah, we didn't even talk about BYU, man.
Yes, when I was... this is just I'll keep this brief, but when I was at SVU and I played lacrosse, dude, I had my teammates. You know, we had a real bond, and I'm not gonna lie, the year that I didn't play, that I was working with Greg, it was pretty isolating because you realize, you know, your team moves on without you, right? They naturally figure out, you know, you get replaced. You kind of they have to fill a gap. And not that I wasn't still friends with the guys on the team. I was still there, but you know, to be a bystander to a team that you're not on anymore is tough.
The team never stays the same. The friendships.
Every year is a different team.
Is always different.
And so, you know, that was kind of isolating. But then when I went to BYU, I mean, that was like fully isolating, man. To be honest, at BYU, I always felt, I don't want to say like a black sheep. I wasn't an alumni of BYU. I didn't grow up being like a massive BYU fan. Like, there were things that people knew culturally that I had no idea about, you know? And maybe I would have known if I was a big BYU fan, but because I wasn't, dude, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know the fight song. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know what the big, you know, it's like, I don't know what the big deal is with Cosmo the Cougar, you know, like, and obviously over time, dude, like, I learn all those things. I get to know the culture of the school, but it's like, dude, like, initially, I'm just kind of this outsider, and I'm really grateful I had 2 great mentors, I guess 3 great mentors at the time there, that I became really close with, and there were a lot of student workers that were around the same age as me as well that I worked with.
That's cool.
Who, you know, and so I kind of had like a community in some sense there when I was at work, but dude, when I got home, I didn't have anyone that I was hanging out with. I didn't have people to be around, and so I was probably the most lonely I've been in a long time while I was at BYU. And when I went to SVU, what was really unique is that there's so many young professionals there, and there's lots of like young families, and so to be honest, dude, that's what I miss the most about being in BV and working at SVU is that friendship and that like camaraderie that I had with the friends I had, and being able to be real with people about where you're at and the struggles you're facing as like a father and a husband, you know? And dude, I'd say for me, the last 10 months, probably the hardest part in a lot of ways is being isolated, you know, and being, it sounds weird because I'm with my family and my kids and my wife, but yeah, dude, there's something about being with other guys and being able to just understand that you're all going through somewhat of the same version, you know, and we're, you know, experiencing the same challenges, and maybe they're unique in some ways, but for the most part, we're all dealing with the same stresses. And, yeah, dude. So I think it's really good. It's really healthy of you, dude, to have found a men's group, man. I probably need that.
Oh, dude, yeah. Try to find one, honestly. And, you know, I don't know how long you guys are still going to be down there, but 2 or 3 times, like, just meeting with other guys is worth it. It's
for sure.
And it was something,
dude, for the record, I have great friends. If they ever, you know, if they're listening to this, I have great friends who've called me and texted me throughout this. So I don't want to discount the friends I had in BV. But it is nice to be in person, you know, and hanging out and goofing around, and you know, you can't really replicate that over the phone or through text, right? And so just want to put that disclaimer out there that I do have friends that have been great for me through this process.
You're all dead to me.
So I just didn't want to I don't want them to think that I think they like suck or something, you know.
No, for sure. That's big too. It's the even like having a video call, right? A FaceTime is totally different from a text conversation. It's totally different. True. It makes a big difference. But yeah, the in-person is huge. I gotta let you go, man. It's getting late. Me and Mo never wanted to live in Utah.
You got Assassin's Creed going, dude.
Yeah, I do. You don't.
I can throw on some Apex Legends, dude. I got my computer set up right here, man.
No, I just downloaded because I'm gonna get Black Flag here soon because the resync just looks sick, and that was like my favorite one. I realized I never played Mirage because I never finished Valhalla, so I just downloaded both of those, and I deleted every sports game off of my Xbox, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna
go fully Assassin's Creed,
just go full into the RPG games again. Because I was telling Mel the other day, like video games just don't hit like they used to, and then I was thinking about it, and I was like, it's because I'm playing like FIFA against 10-year-olds who just smack me online, and I hate that. And so it's just frustrating. So I was like, no, I'm just going to go play adventure games where I'm just being myself again. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, the difference between like, phone call and a text and in-person stuff. So me and Mo never wanted to live in Utah. Always hated the idea of you living in Utah. And when we were in Cali, I was walking every day. So not the point at all. I had just dropped off a plateau. I was like depressed all the time, 300 pounds, like bad. And so I went like full carnivore for like 6 months. Yeah, I went like full for like 6 months and then kind of tapered off where now it's more like carnivore priority, but also like whole foods, like single ingredient foods is what I eat now. And I have energy drinks and I have junk every now and then, but the majority I'm eating a bunch of eggs and a bunch of meat. And anyways, I lost 60 pounds. So I'm like 240 now. So
Wow.
feeling a lot
Congrats.
better. Have a long way to this. Still want to go. Thank you. But I was walking every day in Cali and they had this long, like walking path kind of through the city. And I was on this walk and I just like, it felt like someone literally smacked me in the back of the head. So I like felt myself get smacked. So I'm like freaking out looking around. And then I just, I don't know if I heard or just felt like this. Why don't you just move to Utah? Like, just get over it and just move to Utah. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, we don't want to move to Utah. But then that was kind of when it transitioned to, you got to be close to a temple. That's what you got to be close to the temple. And so we made that decision. And then we move here and I find out one of my closest friends from SVU and post SVU. So we started together in 2010 and then both went on missions. And then he went to BYU when he got home. But he was best man at my wedding, like one of my best friends. They moved here like 3 weeks after we did.
Wow.
And it was the same thing for them. He was like, we never wanted to live in Utah. And like all of these things happened. And he's going to be on the podcast soon too. So I won't give too much of his story. But yeah, they moved like 3 weeks after we did. And so I was able to go, I took them dinner the first night they were here because they moved, or their truck got here on a Sunday and they unloaded it while we were in church. So I was like, dude, I'm so sorry I missed unloading. Can we bring you dinner? So I take him dinner and it was like seeing him in person was like I'd seen him a week ago.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I haven't seen
For
him
sure.
in 12 years, in person. I haven't seen him in 12 years. But it was just one of those things where I was like, it felt so natural. And it's, yeah, the in-person thing is huge. It's huge. And again, same thing you said, like I have great friends that I still talk with and I communicate with and all that, but it is different. It is different. And the physical isolation is tough. It's hard.
Yeah.
But we keep on keeping on and those blessings are going to come, like you said.
That's right.
Like you said, they're going to come. All right. You didn't have as much caffeine as I did. Don't turn on Apex. Go get some sleep. Rest is important.
That's right.
I'm not really going to play Assassin's Creed tonight. I probably could.
Yeah, you go settle in, dude. You go watch a show or something.
I could go put on. So for years, my my sick show, if I wasn't feeling great, I would put on Fixer Upper. And nice. I would be out in like 20 minutes. And then I wake up like 4 episodes later and they're like, oh, there's a new house. Oh man.
That's awesome.
It might be. That'll put me to sleep.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you listening to my crazy stories for 2 hours straight.
Dude, that's what makes a good episode.
Hopefully you got a better insight into my life and
I really did. Yeah. And I have to apologize, dude. I was your RA and I didn't know like any of this stuff.
No, dude. I mean, we're in college, man. Does any of it matter when you're in college?
No.
No, dude. It's no worry. I mean, yeah, dude. We were just trying to meet cute girls and play sports, dude. So we're good.
Oh, dude, the number of times I got called out by the Malore brothers because I would be like walking back into Creighton as they were walking out to go to film because me and Mo had hung out till like 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and then I'd be doing breakfast at the caf at 7 o'clock. Yeah,
yeah.
College was wild.
I don't know how we survived, dude. I don't think I could ever
either.
like honestly, dude. I could never do it. If I did an all nighter like now, I would need like 4 days to recover.
Yeah. Me and Mo we tried to do an all nighter. I want to say like two weeks ago. I think it was. So we watched Ted Lasso. I think it was when the first episode of Ted Lasso came out, and the kids had a terrible time going to bed, so we didn't start it till like 11. But it's only like 45 minutes. But in our brains, we were like, it's already midnight. Should we even go to sleep?
Yeah.
And then we were out by like 1 o'clock. So
yeah, dude. As parents, like you can't control it, dude. Like you just once your kids are in bed, dude, you get the sleepies. You know, you try to enjoy yourself for a little bit, but you're normally just out, dude.
Yeah. That's why again tonight Mo was like, we went and took care of Marley, and she was like, I'm going to bed. Like, okay, all right,
yeah, man.
But
no, it's the night times for sure.
Yeah.
It's I think it's time.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. For real though, I appreciate you having me on, and
thank you for being on.
It's you know, I think people like talking about themselves, so this is cool for me. Maybe it's not as cool for you, but it's cool for me to talk about myself.
I love it.
And hopefully everybody that's on this podcast or any podcast enjoys talking about themselves.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I've liked about it is I like listening. I like hearing these stories and these experiences. And one of the quotes that I is like so I have my 10 rules to teach your sons, which in reality is just like 10 rules to live by. I think it's either number 6 or number 7. Nope, that's wrong. It's like number 2 is be more interested than interesting. Just
it's awesome.
Listen, absorb it, take it all in. But no, thank you for being on. Thank you for being on. We gotta stay in touch, and we gotta meet up sometime before you guys head out.
For sure.
Okay.